Hello, friends and family, and welcome to another episode of Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and Podcast. I am super excited to have you join us on this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like we do every Thursday night. And this Thursday night is no different. We have another amazing guest in our studio tonight, Queen Fouchina Kirkendoll. She is a survivor, and we're going to talk about what her to where she is today. So you know what we do every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and grab your favorite drink, make yourself comfortable, sit back and enjoy the ride because you're finally at home at Kiva's Place. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and Podcast. We hope that by the end of our show, you're left feeling empowered, motivated, and connected. So come on in the room. Grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy the ride because you're finally at home at Kiva's Place. Now give it up for our host and producer, Coach Kiva Lernice Murdoch.
And welcome back to Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and Podcast. So before I bring her on the stage, let me just tell you a little bit about who is joining us in our studio tonight. Again, her name is Fouchina Kirkendoll. She was once a victim and now a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And she has turned that trauma into something phenomenal, not only for herself, but to also help other women to overcome traumatic experiences. And out of her experience, she birthed a blog talk radio, which is something we're going to talk about a little bit in the show called Chronicles of Her Favorite Woman. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her up on the stage so we can dive right into who she is and what she has going on. So welcome to Kiva's Place. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you? Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. I'm so glad to finally get you here in the studio. And
Yes.
friends and family, this is collaboration to the T. We
At
actually
its
met
finest.
on another platform. We were
Yes.
both, yes, correct?
Yes. And you were on all my podcasts too. So, I mean, you're right. It's all about collaboration.
That's right. That's right. And this is just so powerful just to see, strong women, like-minded women with the same mindset, the same goals, the same vision, able to work together collectively. And it goes back to exactly what I said, collaboration over competition any day. So welcome.
Yes, exactly. I just want to say, like, again, once again, well, first of all, to God be the glory, number one. And thank you for extending the olive branch for me to be here to share my story. I really appreciate it. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, so I'm going to let you steer the boat.
Well, let's actually dive right in it. Give them a little bit of background, first of all, of who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, my name is Fouchina Kirkendoll. I was actually born in New Jersey, raised in the South, and actually currently reside. I can't say currently. I've been in an Atlanta, Georgia area for like 9 years now, but that's where I am. I am the CEO and founder of Chronicles of a Favorite Woman. And it started off with this testimony, as Ms. Kiva mentioned earlier. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And I decided that I was no longer become the victim anymore. I was becoming a victor. And I knew that I asked God if he could help me get through this, I will help other people and pay it forward. And that's why I'm here today, to help not just me, because sharing the story is a part of my healing process too, but it's also to help and give that fire, to ignite a flame, to help other people to want to do it as well. So no longer stay in this silence, no more.
And that's so amazing. I didn't even realize that you and I share so many similarities. Like, we spoke briefly a while ago, but just getting you prepared for the show, like, we share so many similarities, and we are from almost the same neck of the wood.
Yes.
Yeah, and dealt with childhood sexual assault. So if you feel comfortable, give us a little bit of background of how that initiated and how it affected you. And then we're going to talk into how you became a victim to a victor.
Sure. So I was molested between the age of kindergarten and third grade, and it was by a family member, and as a child, when you're violated by someone who's supposed to protect you, that's very traumatic. It's a very traumatic experience because that's the person that's supposed to protect you. So your boundaries are automatically just warped. So everything is done. So I got to a point where I just didn't trust anyone, and that included family. That especially included family. I lived in the era no pen against my family, where children were seen and not heard. You from the country, you understand exactly where I'm saying. You were seen and not heard. And unfortunately, when you live in that type of environment, there's so much secrecy and stuff that goes on. So I was forced to live with this in silence until finally, as an adult, not realizing, I did what I could do to survive. And as a result, I was dealing with people judging me, not realizing why I was acting the way I was acting, but no one took the time to find out why I was acting or I was lashing out the way I was acting out. So not only had to deal with the molestation part, now I got to deal with the judgment part. I got to deal with the talking about it part. I got to deal with the backbiting part, and that's family. So, it's one thing to deal with strangers, but when you got to deal with it in your inner circle, that's just hard, but we do what we have to do as a result.
And that is so true. And that is one thing where I'm seeing more of, victims that's been abused in their childhood finally stepping forward and speaking up, because like you said, that was something that was not encouraged when we were coming up. And I hate that saying, what happens here stays here, because
Yes.
you are really not doing anybody a good service by not speaking up. So it's really important for us who have dealt with situations like that to teach those coming up behind us to speak on it. It's your story, it's your truth. So we do not have to sit in shame, sit silent, speak up. It's so important.
Exactly. You want to do that. Unfortunately, when you have that, whatever happened in this house stays in the house, it really doesn't have anything to do with the victim. It has to do with how is it going to make us look type of thing, unfortunately. But the truth of the matter is, you weren't the one violated. You weren't the one who have to go through the pain. You're not the one who had to go through everything painful that you had to go through, and you don't care. What you care about is how it's going to look for other people. So do you actually really care? And unfortunately, it's like a generational curse. It really is. I'm going to just put the truth out there. It really is. But we just got to get to a point where we have to break that generational curse and realize that's not of God. That's not of God. It really isn't, and we have to take a stand. And I'm finally at a point, even at the age of 50, where I will not allow anything to disturb my peace. So I'm just going to encourage those who may be going through at this point. It's time for you to speak up and to speak out. You cannot live in somebody else's jail cell because you're trying to protect their feelings and their emotions. It is your peace of mind that you have to protect at all costs.
That's right. And I think you just said something, Fouchina, that was so important about abuse being a generational curse or a generational cycle. And it's so sad. Once I started to talk about my abuse as a child, I realized just from speaking up that so many of my family members were affected the exact same way. And guess what? They didn't tell anybody either. That
Yes.
is so sad, right?
Yeah. It's because of the shame. It's because of the shame that, that was put on them for whatever reason. It's the shame and the guilt. But the truth of the matter is, you should not put the blame where it needs to go. The blame goes to the abuser and not the abusee. Take the shame off, because you should not be wearing the shame for something that you had no control over. Period. We have to find the courage. Sometimes we get afraid, and it's okay. That's a natural reaction. But you know what? Do it afraid.
That's right.
God said, you step out on faith, I got you. And when all you have to do is take the first lead, because when we step out on faith, we don't know where we're going to end up. We just have to trust and believe that he has us. And ever since I made that step, he has not let me fall yet.
And the thing about it is, once you actually start speaking on it, it becomes easier.
And it becomes a healing process.
Exactly. Yes. And that's what people don't realize. Once you are to that point to where you can speak on it, then the more you talk about it, the more you put it out there, the better you feel. And you start to feel whole again. Like, it literally took me a year to 2 years to really start to feel whole, because for 43 years, I'm 43. I felt like something just was not right. Something wasn't settled, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it 100. I get along easy with people, but I still struggle with building relationships, like building long-lasting relationships. And that is something, as a grown woman, I still struggle with that. But what I can say is, from me standing and speaking in my truth, I can definitely tell a difference where I was 5-10 years ago versus where I am now today. Do you find that to be true as well?
Very much so. I'm 50. And what I've learned is, as my brother told me, China, don't just take down your first layer, take down your second layer too. Because I was one that, you come at me the wrong way, I'm going to chop you up immediately, because that was always my defense mechanism to keep my safeguard. So I learned to respond versus react. And when I learned to do that, be like, you know what, I'm glad I didn't do that, because, they really didn't mean that. After all, I just heard what I wanted to hear. So I'm learning to do that. And as I'm learning to do that, I've noticed that in time, healing is starting to come. Not everybody is out to hurt me like my molester did. Not everyone is trying to take advantage of me as those people that did. There's actually some genuine people, because I will tell people, when one person cuts you, don't bleed on other people, because it's not fair.
That's right.
It's a process, but it's a process. I don't want you to think that it's overnight and you come to Jesus and you think that because you come to Jesus. No, it's a process. It is a process to get to the place.
And you are so right. And I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people do think, once they get saved or they convert from, a sinner to living that Christian life, that once they are under that umbrella, they're automatically healed. And it is a process. It's a daily walk. It's like your faith. It's like your salvation. The Bible tells us to renew it every day. So you really have to literally consciously put that one foot in front of the other to get through that healing process, because it really is a healing process. But if you do that, if you do the work that it requires to get where you need to be, you'll be able to look back and you won't even remember that same person that was back there. And that's when you get to just that beautiful feeling, that feeling of wholeness, that feeling of completeness, that feeling of joy.
And not only that, please know it's not going to be a perfect walk. Okay. We all fall short of his glory. Even at the age of 50, I still fall short, okay? Because I remember when I got saved, I thought that I was going to be healed and delivered and all this, and I would catch the Holy Ghost and blah, blah, blah. And as soon as someone triggered a memory, Hades broke loose in me. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought I was saved. I thought you were supposed to heal me. Wait, what was going on here?
Mhm.
But it was the process. I took the first step, but now there was a healing that had to go on. What I recognized is I had deep roots that needed to be exposed and plucked out and destroyed. I had to expose. And once you recognize that, you start making them baby steps. Yeah, you fall, but guess what? You don't stay stuck. You just say, okay, you almost got me there, but I'm gonna keep it moving, and I'm gonna keep it moving until you get to that point. Because it becomes uncomfortable. Because to be honest with you, Kiva, we get comfortable to pain. Let's just be honest. We get comfortable to pain, and sometimes we end up in addictions like I did, or whatever that your vice is. We become comfortable with it. We know it's not good for us, but we know it's faithful, so we're gonna stay with it. But you got to get uncomfortable being. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable until uncomfortable becomes comfortable. So you got to be like Les Brown. You got to want it. You got to be hungry to want your deliverance. You got to be hungry to want freedom. You got to be hungry to want your peace of mind. So you got to do whatever you need to do. You got to want it like it is a matter of life and death, because that's what it is. Either you want to live or you want to die. You cannot stay in bondage, especially your own jail cell you putting yourself in.
That's exactly right. And what I like to compare it to is you have to get raw. Like you really have to allow yourself to peel back those layers. You have to get
Yes.
raw in order for you to start to heal.
Yes. Yes.
So let me
Yes.
ask you, because I know that at some point something had to inspire you to want to start speaking out. Can you pinpoint that one thing that just was like, you know what, this is it. I'm not holding it in anymore. So what actually brought you to the point where you're now speaking out?
Um, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. As a result of molestation, I ended up addicted to two things: pain and sex. And it was my last encounter of being with someone in a relationship without realizing that my addiction had me making some stupid decisions. And I was like, you know what? If it's going to allow me to make decisions such as this, I'm done. I can't do this no more. And I finally decided, you know what, Lord, I always loved, I had something for me to do. And I always knew it was going to be something I love to do, which is talk. So I said, this is how serious I am. I'm going to go abstinence cold turkey, because that's the only way I know how to give up anything is cold turkey. And I meant it. Now, that first year, it was a struggle. I ain't gonna lie. It was a struggle. But I was determined. I meant what I said, and I made a covenant with him. And I've only made two covenants in my life, and that was one of them. And I meant what I said. And to this day, I think it's over 5 years now. I don't remember anymore. But I was just determined. I'm not going back. And I said, if you deliver me, if you help me, I will go back and help other people and let them know if you could deliver me, then I know you could deliver anybody, because I done been out there, and I want to help other young women and other men too, but women, to let them know where you are now is not where you're headed. It's just a testimony. So when I hear young women, when I mentor young women, they was like, well, Miss China, we can't believe you used to be like that. That's the beautiful thing about grace. When he delivers you and come and get you, you look nothing like where he brought you from. He will wash you if you are hungry enough. He will come and get you where you are. He will clean you. He will dust you off. He will put the breath of life in you because he heard your cry. He saw your cry. He heard your tears. He's seen it. And he will give you a new walk. He will give you a new talk. And he will give you a plan of action to move forward if you are serious about what you want to do.
That's right. And what people don't realize too is that we are our biggest critic, because once
Yeah.
you completely turn your life over to God, he says he doesn't even remember it anymore. But
Yes.
we hold ourselves prisoners. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. The freezer
I love it.
effect. We go back to the freezer.
Yep. I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. So let's talk about Chronicles of a Favorite Woman. So I
Yes.
know out of all of this, God gave you a baby and you birthed Chronicles of a Favorite Woman. So tell us about that.
Believe it or not, that was birthed in me 2008. I was going to a church in Charleston, and I got that vision. I was just writing it down, writing it down, writing it down. So I wrote it down in a notebook, didn't do anything with it. In 2011, I got introduced to Blog Talk Radio. I set up the account, didn't do anything with it, just chucked it to the side. It wasn't until 2019 I was watching Steve Harvey show late night. I never watched his show, but that night I was drawn to it, and Tyra Banks was on it, and they were talking about those who just step out on faith to start things they never done. And Tyra Banks talked about starting a new cosmetic line. Now God was already dealing with me, like, it's time for you to come out. It's time. I'm ready for you to come out. And she mentioned about how she went back to school. She was doing this and sacrificing. And she said one thing that caught my attention. She said she just held her breath and stepped out on faith. And it was that moment. I said, you know what? What's stopping me? I mean, what's stopping me? I'm going to hold my breath. I'm going to step out on faith. And at that moment, that's when I set a date. I knew when I set a date, that was August 11th of 2019, I was not going to go back. I knew I would be committed. And that's when I set the date for my first air date for Chronicles. Now, I used to be a fondled woman, and then God dealt with me and said, you're no longer broken. And that's how it became Faithful Woman this past year when I starting my third year. But I couldn't think of the first show, how to start the show, until I was talking to one of my best friends, and she had to do a speaking engagement. And she was saying 15 reasons why she didn't want to talk. I said, that's the title of the show. 15 reasons why I didn't want to do the show. So I asked her, of course. I said, and then she actually co-hosted the show with me that night for that day. 15 reasons why I didn't want to do this show. And ever since then, it just took off. Now, and here I am now, getting ready to go into, I believe, the fourth year, I think. So it's just been a phenomenal journey. And I've gotten to meet so amazing people such as yourself, Sister Jackie, just so many people. And then some of the lives that I've been introduced to. God is just so awesome.
It's a wonderful platform.
It is.
It's a wonderful platform. I love that, and you are so much like me. What you see is what you get. You're so down to earth, very transparent, very honest, genuine. And I just gravitate towards people like that.
Yes.
Wonderful show.
Yes.
So
I'm loving what you're doing.
Thank you. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to break down Chronicles of a Favorite Woman, because I realized in doing my studies, your Chronicles of a Favorite Woman is pretty much broken down into 3 key elements. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then we will let our viewers know how they can get in contact with you, as well as listen and engage in your show. So friends and family, don't go anywhere. We're not done yet with Miss Fouchina Kirkendoll. So stay right here. We'll be right back. So stay tuned.
Visionary leader, Dr. Takima Dorsey, presents the It's Time to Go Deep Summit, the #1 international development summit transforming urban markets. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit is not a normal summit. It's a game-changing summit. The mission of the It's Time to Go Deep Summit is to provide personal development and business growth training to nonprofits, small businesses, and entrepreneurs while increasing resources to the urban market. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit is uniquely different because it is the only summit focused on transforming the urban market by providing training resources to leaders and managers so they can become the resources needed in their community, their industry, and themselves. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit speakers are experts in their industries and remain excited to serve, increase greater impact, and to leave the legacy they are destined to do, as did their ancestors. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit goal is to share proven methodology and best practices to current and aspiring leaders and managers for success in business and in life. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit's objective is to assist in the formulation of a blueprint, framework, system, or process for attendees that evoke immediate action. Professional and personal training are ongoing goals needed for positive and transformational growth and development. The It's Time to Go Deep Summit focus is on closing the disparities and barriers that exist by meeting nonprofits, small business owners, and entrepreneurs where they are. The theme of this year's summit is Learn What You Don't Know and Teach What You Do. Grab your free virtual ticket now at www.itstimetogodiepsummit.com.
Hey everyone, this is Kiasha Hill, transformational life coach and author of 30 Days of Different Ways to Love Me. You're currently watching Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. Please stay tuned, so much more to come.
Looking to grow and align your brand with celebrities and other established brands? Your brand is all about your entire customer experience. Everything from your logo, your website, your social media experiences, the way you answer the phone, to the way your customers experience your staff. So why not let us help you get your branding right from the start? At Easy Way Promotions, we are a new class of professionals providing first-class online branding, promotions, social media, website development, editing, graphic design, public relations, media, SEO, and online advertising to give your business the competitive edge to stand out. Our highly experienced experts will not only help you increase your online presence, but also provide you with a proven online strategy to help you increase the value of your company and make acquiring new customers easier. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today and let us help you grow your business exponentially.
Welcome back to Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. If you are just joining us, we have Miss Fouchina Kirkendoll in our studio tonight, and we are talking about how she went from a victim to a victor and birthed Chronicles of a Favorite Woman. So we're going to bring her back on the stage and we're going to finish our conversation. So come on back, Miss Fouchina. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So before our break, we were introducing to our viewers tonight Chronicles of a Favorite Woman. And then I realized that you really have three key elements to Chronicles of a Favorite Woman. So I wanted to just talk about that really briefly before we go into how our viewers can contact you. And what I discovered is your three elements were increasing awareness, forgiveness, and paying it forward. So tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about for you?
Actually, I started speaking on platforms about it, and because that's how it started, just speaking on platforms about it, regarding it, and as a result of it, ended up at three key principles when I had to break it down when speaking to people. And the first of it is discovering and utilizing your voice. 2, the importance of forgiveness, and 3, the importance of paying it forward, meaning going back to help other people, because that's very important when it comes to when God brings you through something. It is your right. It is your responsibility to go back and help others. He did not deliver you for you to keep it to yourself.
Say it again for the people that's in the back.
Yeah. It is your, God delivers you from something. It is your right. It is your responsibility to go back and help others to do the same. It is selfish of you to keep it to yourself.
That's exactly right. And what people may not realize is that even, I'm a firm believer that God knows exactly how much you can bear. And He will only give you what He feels you can handle. We may not understand the test or the trials at that time, but there is a reason you were chosen to endure what you are enduring. It's because God knows that you are strong enough to overcome what you're currently going through during that situation. But just like you just said, once he brings you out, there's a testimony in every test.
In
In every test.
everything.
Every
Yes.
test. Yes. So it's
That's
really
right.
important to share that, because we're not the only one. We may feel
No.
at that moment that we are the only one, nobody understands, oh, woe is me. But believe it or not,
Yes.
you're not the only one. However, you may be exactly what that next individual need to understand what they need to do, how they need to step, how they need to move, how they need to speak, what they need to listen to in order to overcome what they are going through. Because
Exactly.
the game never changes. It's just the players.
Same script, different cast.
That's it. That's exactly right. I'm gonna have to bring you back. I'm gonna join you.
But anytime, anytime.
Yes. So I know before we dive into how they can reach you, a couple things. I want to know more on a personal level. Your first question is, what's your pet peeve? What's your biggest pet peeve?
Being blindsided.
That's a good one. That's a good one. My next question is, I know you are a busy woman. You are a mother, a grandmother. You are an activist. You're an advocate. But I want to know, what do you do to make sure that you are good? Because it's so crucial. What do you do to make sure that you are good?
Maintain my line in the sand and make sure nothing disturbs my peace. So that means maintaining my relationship with God. And if anything disturbs my peace, they have to get evicted or recategorized somewhere. My peace does not get disturbed for no one.
And it's something about when you're over the age of 40,
Yes, ma'am.
you will never understand. It was like once I hit 40, it was like a light bulb went off.
And when you turn 50, it's going to be even better, honey.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm
telling you, 50, you're going to be like this, done. Done.
I am like that now already at 43.
Done.
Like,
yes.
The foolishness got to step to the left, because I
Yeah.
have.
And I'm telling you, I'm like that with everything and everyone. That includes my children, my family, that includes friends, associates. If you disturb my peace, you have to go. I'm going to put you on a pause. I'm going to put you on a DNA. I'm going to put you on I'm going to call you back when you call me back when you're ready.
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking forward to it. I am there now, but man, and it's so important, because and that's one thing that people take for granted, is having a peace of mind.
It is. And when you get that peace of mind, Kiva, you get hungry. Once you have it, you're going to fight for it. Ain't nobody going to take my peace of mind. I worked too hard to get to this point. Exactly. And you will fight for it. You're not going to let anything or anyone disturb it. And I'm sorry. This is where my arrogant side comes in. I am too fine and too smart to let anything or anyone disturb my peace of mind, because I got children and grandchildren, and I am creating generational wealth for them. So I cannot allow anything disturbing them.
Amen. Amen. On that note, this has been so good. I have enjoyed having you here. Like I said earlier, you are welcome back. I feel like we almost need a part 2. So
I agree. That on both ends, because I just told you I need you to come back. You got to come back.
I enjoyed myself on your show. Matter of fact, tell them when and how they can listen to your show.
Okay, a couple ways. Of course, there's Blog Talk Radio. Now, this is the long part, which is www. It comes on Sundays at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And you can go to Blog Talk Radio. So it's www.blogtalkradio.com/Chronicles of a Fondled Woman. Or you could just go to blogtalkradio.com and then look for Chronicles of a favorite woman. If you're on my Facebook page, I also do Facebook Live. So those who are on my Facebook page, you can always catch it live on Facebook. So if you need to reach out to me, I think I'm going ahead myself. I'm so sorry. You can also email me at C as in Charlie, OAF woman @gmail.com. That's COAF woman @gmail.com. Now, if you see something, and I'm also on Facebook and also Instagram at Fouchina Kirkendoll, and that's at Fouchina, FOUCHINA, Kirkendoll, KIRKENDOLL. And if you go on Facebook, all you have to do is type in Fouchina Kirkendoll. You're not going to find but one person. And you can also DM me there and just let me know that you actually saw me on the Kiva Murdoch show. And that's all I need to know.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I am looking forward to being back on Chronicles of a Favorite Woman.
Yes.
And you are definitely going to be back on season 4 that we will be coming back in February of 2022. So I am looking forward to having
That's my birthday month. Yes.
Okay. Yes. That'll be a great way to celebrate, to bring in. Yes.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, listen, friends and family, thank you guys so much. I hope you have enjoyed our show with Miss Fouchina Kirkendoll. And you can definitely catch us every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. A guest on our show, just like Miss Fouchina Kirkendoll, you can definitely reach out to us at our tiny URL and I will have the ticker going down at the bottom, tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Booking. Again, that's Keever's Place Booking. So you can definitely reach out to us. We are taking cast for season 4 for 2022. I cannot believe that we are almost into another year.
Yes.
So definitely reach out to us. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Linktree, and LinkedIn as well at Kiva Lernice Murdoch. So until next week, family, you already know what we do. We will not be live next Thursday. We want you to enjoy your family members for Thanksgiving, but please come back and watch one of our amazing replays that will air on Thanksgiving night. So after all the turkey, the football games, and all of that, you just need a way to unwind. You can definitely join us right here next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until next week, continue to share, connect, and glow, because growing your network also grows your net worth. So until next time, peace and blessings. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Book. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.